Hey there, Vampire Logan here. I'm just doing another episode, or short episode of Auspex, where I'm gonna re-record my section of the episode 3, where I had accidentally turned off my mic because I was coughing, and then I forgot to turn it on. So not really accidentally, I turned it off on purpose and forgot to turn it back on. And I want to just re-record that section of the video and just go over it, and then attach that to my YouTube channel as an additional remake of that, and just cut out that section. So here goes. We were talking about Critical Role episode 6, and we had gotten to the point where they started doing the what the fuck is up with that Rollies game, and I'll just run the clip again and then comment on it after.
We're going to play a little game that I learned a few years ago.
Ooh, I like games.
It's called, or at least what we call it, is What the Fuck is Up with That?
All right.
Okay. Lowest roll has to answer a question truthfully and not too vaguely. Ooh. Highest roll gets to ask it.
Ooh.
And then we drink.
Are there stipulations to the drinking? Like, do you drink whether you win or you lose, or do you just
everybody
drink?
Drinks.
All right.
Unless we want to try and slow this down or anything. That's...
Can I have a sip right now?
Yeah, we can just fill you up again. That's fine.
Prime the pump.
If we're gonna be doing
Wet
this,
the whistle.
If you like, it can just be who asks and who answers.
No, I'm fine with it. I would very much like if we were maybe outside.
Oh, was it loud?
Yeah, the more I drink, it'll just get harder and harder. So if we could just sit out.
Okay, so a few things we learned about this. Learning a bit more about Imogen's powers and how her mental abilities work. She has a hard time blocking out thoughts, kind of like Marvel Girl from the X-Men, and she is learning to deal with that, but getting into large crowds makes it difficult for her. And if they're going to be doing a big lore drop here, she wants to be in a place that she can control it better. So they move upstairs to a more quiet location, further away from people. And then they this is basically a way that Taliesin came up with to get people to kind of drop a bunch of lore. And it was pretty good for the most part, except we didn't really get a lot of stuff we didn't already know from some of them. So I'm just going to go over the things that we learned there. We also learned just from doing this that one of the things that became canon is that people in Marquette carry dice around for rollies, because they all in character, as their characters, said that they had dice and were going to roll them for this. So that was kind of funny in-game meta. And then so let me grab my notes here. And so a few of the other things that got revealed. I'm not going to watch the whole clip because it's most of the episode, good chunk of the episode. So the highlights are we find out that Dorian comes from a rich family, and there's some secrets that he doesn't want to reveal there. Ashton was asked about if he's ever been in love. He kind of dodged the question about whether, or he doesn't really know, I guess. Said that it was a broad word, and I think he's a non-binary person, so I think he doesn't maybe want to talk about it, or else he just is being honest and hasn't had anything like that, hasn't met the right person. And then he also mentioned he did have a group of friends that he grew up with called the Nobodies, but they kind of drifted apart because they all left town and he stayed. So he's a local for this city in Marquette. The town of Spires, I guess, or city of Spires. Fern was asked about any regrets she had, but she couldn't really come up with anything, so they asked her another question: how does it feel to steal, and why does she do that? And she kind of dodged that question as well. She just said she likes to collect things. And but she did mention that she does have a home, lived in a home with her grandmother in the Feywild. So I think she is only present in this world for a few months or so. So she's pretty new to being out of the Feywild. We found out a bit about Imogen. Her dad was mentioned as someone that they could use for bargaining with the Corsairs. And so they were a bit worried about that. But she doesn't think it'll be a big deal because they don't have any intentions of crossing them. And he's quite far away, so it's a lot of effort for them to go and mess with him. But she did mention that her mind powers came to her, I think, as a teenager or something like that. Very X-Men-like. And she found the mind powers were quite a burden to her. And so she, and to her father, he was... So she thinks that he was probably happy to see her choose to leave. We find out that she met Laudna. Laudna came to her town, and then they left together. They didn't really expand too much on what that situation was like, but she did kind of feel bad about putting a burden of her abilities on her father, although she thinks that, he still cares about her, so there's no bad relationship there. We found out that Orem's goals and backstory with the Ashari, that there was an attack on Keyleth as the leader of the Ashari, and he mentioned some of his stuff that he's trying to do, which we already got from Exandria Unlimited, but most of it was just sort of a story about the attack on Keyleth. There were some creatures similar to the Shade creatures that they fought earlier that corrupted that dwarf, I think it was, or a gnome, and then that's the one that killed Bertram. So there was an attack. They said it was fairly easily held off, and the creatures did disappear like the ones they had fought, so into puffs of ash. So he said it was a similar situation, but they're not sure how it's related. I would have liked them to gone a little more into that, but we'll find out more later, I guess. And then into the more interesting ones, Fresh Cut Grass. Liam asks about... I'm going to play this clip because it's funny. Where's our... this is always good. Fresh Cut Grass.
Yeah. I've traveled a decent...
damn commercials.
Circle DNA.
Go away, commercial.
amount. Probably not as much as some. One time, I met someone sort of like you.
Really?
Which would
Where
be
was that?
Dodie.
Someone
from,
visited home.
Dodie would be... I can't remember his name. Tyrion Darrington's robot. So I think that's what he's talking about, because Tyrion might have gone and visited Keyleth. So I think that's probably a little bit of a old lore drop there. And so he continues.
Oh. But they were nothing like you.
Yeah, he could only say one word.
And I'm just still kind of blown away. I don't know what I'm asking. I don't know how old you are. I don't know how you came to be. Are the people, are the others that you talked about, Oatmeal and Pussy, are they the only ones you ever knew? And apple pie, sorry.
So here's a pretty funny missed opportunity for Liam. I think he could have used the premise of this to say, "What the fuck is up with Pussy?" That would have been a funny question to ask. But he's playing his character a little more serious, so maybe he didn't want to get into that.
I really like Oatmeal.
He sidestepped into it, and then he sidestepped away.
Are they the only ones like me I ever knew?
Yeah, or are there more? Or where do you come from, and what the fuck is up with that?
Well, it up.
And so he goes on to avoid his question as well. So he's unable to access these memories, and it's revealed a little later that he is only 2 years old.
So 2?
And a funny situation happens here.
Well, yeah, but you know, I don't age like y'all, so.
Y'all.
Careful, she loves babies.
I can addendum into this.
Those babies.
Can I just come here?
If it makes you feel good,
Go
then
with it,
yes,
go with
of
it.
course.
You just hear sloshing.
I can hear the water, the drink in there.
Oh yeah, before this, fresh cracked grass had a shot which he cannot process, but it doesn't hurt him to have it. It just stays inside him. He doesn't have any way to eject it either, so they have to dump it back out his mouth. Kind of gross, but funny anyway. So then, yeah, that we find out that not much information about fresh cut grass, but everything he says is funny, and there's a lot of humor in just the way he is. So she cuddles with him. They later, after this, they ask about his dreams. He said he tries later to have a dream, but he has no luck. So robots don't dream of electric sheep. If you're a fan of alternative future fiction, you would know that reference, or of Blade Runner and the book behind it. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Anyway, they later drain out that shot, and Fern expresses an interest to look inside him, which is, it could be creepy if she wants to like cut him or break him open and see inside. And also later on, we see Dorian getting a little drunk from the drinking they're doing, and I think he just stumbled on his words, but they decided to take that as him being drunk, and as the improv actors they are, he just ran with it. It's kind of fun. And then we get a little bit later to Laudna. Where does she say? Laudna Baxter.
What I've got going
This is
on.
good stuff.
You can ask me anything.
All right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Are you dead? What the fuck is up with that?
This is interesting information.
I'm not entirely sure. I think so.
You think you're dead?
I think I'm like some cross in between life and death. Not
Elaborate.
totally alive, but
What
not
happened?
totally dead. Well, I definitely died.
Wait, okay.
And then I
How
just
did that happen? Well, okay, so you just tell your story. You tell your story.
I died, and then I woke up. I woke up and was surrounded by a lot of other corpses, and all of Whitestone was just in a complete panic, run amok, just death and disease and nightmare everywhere, and I didn't know what happened, so I ran. But yeah, I haven't really aged.
How long ago was that?
30 years.
30 years!
So you were this age when you died.
How old were you when you passed away?
20?
And do you know happen to know how long you were dead for?
I don't think long. 48 hours, a couple days.
So you're 50.
He's too. That's good.
I'm 50.
Do you remember anything about your previous life?
Oh, yes. Well,
You
you
do?
know of it.
Okay.
You're not
Absolutely.
you're not just an elf, or
No, I was a human.
how can you be dead?
And who brought you back and how?
Weird fucking.
You said you
then you
died and then you
died.
woke up. Whoa, there was a bit in between there.
Yes. Yes, I always had innate magical capabilities when I was a young girl, and so I don't know. I think whatever happened in Whitestone on that night, I think I got hit with some sort of necromantic magic. It was like a blast. It just, I don't know, just kind of hit me. And then I was alive. But here, look. I'm gonna grab. Can you feel things?
Yeah, sure.
You feel like a heartbeat every like 20 seconds.
Oh, you're very athletic.
Yes.
So your heart does beat.
It does, just very.
You have hopes. You have fears.
Biology works.
You have loves.
Of course.
Sounds like you're alive to me.
When you die.
So anyway, I found out later that this is a type of creature in... I don't know if this is something he got from material or if this is something just unique to his campaign. But Matt Mercer has a type of person called a Hollow One who is someone who's not really alive and not really dead. Their soul is not with them, I think. But he used this. There was a character when they were going to the island for the Traveler Con, and there was a character they had met just before that who did not have any. He didn't detect as undead, but he also was not quite normal in that sense. So I think that was another one of these, and she is also one of those. So that's an interesting tidbit about her. I think I find Lauden's characters very interesting, and has a lot of. She goes on and on here more about being dead and alive, and how we find out basically here that Delilah Briarwood is her warlock patron, or matron, perhaps you should say. And when she was like hunted as a witch, various places she goes, because she's kind of creepy and people think she's a witch when they're superstitious. So she's traveled from town to town, and had to be on the run until she ran into Imogen, who had kind of a similar problem that they bonded over. And then there is this.
Quiet. You do hear a familiar whisper.
She's going to sleep.
It says, "Careful, dear. Some things are meant to be kept secret."
Oh, hello. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've heard from you. What have you been up to? Oh, come on, Dee, just tell me.
Please, just be careful.
Oh, I didn't say anything that's not like public knowledge. So back off.
That's the end of it.
Good night.
Was she talking to you?
So she's talking to Delilah Briarwood, which is a cool twist in this game, and I like that she brought that in there, bringing that back from campaign 1. And just before we get our animated series coming out next month, that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, they brought that in, and I love it. I think it's cool. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Then we get Sam doing his usual thing. Let's go back to here and check that again. See if we can see it. Sam's can.
13 for a slash, guys. Not bad.
It's not too bad.
No.
This was actually before.
Asshole.
Oh my God.
So if you can't see that on my screen, I have it right here. It says Jazz is Chaos Tour, and it says something about the other acts are the Slippery Dashes, Duggars Creepers, which is that guy they killed that had the strange creatures, and then Bertrand and the Alley Cats, and Dorian's Failed Performance Checks. And $10. Show starts at, or doors open at 7 p.m. So it's he's gonna do this thing with the gas can all through the show like he did in the previous 2 campaigns. So there's a site you can go to which has all of these. I think you can just type Sam Regal's and is it here? Shirts. He's not doing that kind of shirt this time. Oh, Sam's a mug. Crit Roll Stats has this. So you can see the flask, the mugs. These are all the things he used to put on the bottom of his mug. So when he drank it, it would show these things. And then he did it with the flask. So you can see every episode what he did there. And then they got the same thing for the this. Oh, I haven't looked at the latest 2. I'll check those out after. So anyway, that's him and his can. It's quite funny. And so, and then they joke about the failed performance checks because they didn't actually read that. And then they have later on in here, another highlight is the inter-party whisper. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in any of the other seasons, so yeah, let's just check it out. So
Thoughts right now.
It's private, but I'll roll against it since it's private.
Okay, you are pretty trashed.
Okay.
So I'll say it's disadvantage.
Yeah.
Disadvantage.
Not gonna need it. That's a 1.
Open book. Open book. Open book.
What?
You want to whisper me?
Whisper.
Yeah, go over and whisper.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys,
I've been sitting on this all week. It worked better than I could have hoped.
PvP.
guys, besides NordVPN, which is fantastic, Kith and Kin is available now at criticalrollbooks.com. Don't forget ghostfiregaming.com/fables-critical role.
Yep. Good timing.
And other.
She found out some good info, which I think is revealed in the next episode anyway. So, and that is the extent of what I had done before and got blanked out because I didn't turn on my mic. So I'm gonna just stop it here, and then I will. Yeah, it's getting late, so I'll just end it here, and then I'll upload that to YouTube as the attachment to go with, or I might just splice it together if I get, interested in doing a clip, video clip editing. I think the reason I stream is because so I don't have to do that, so I can just upload these directly to YouTube after I'm done, and I don't want to go back and just spend a lot of time editing YouTube videos. I tried doing that before and it just ended up me not wanting to do YouTube videos, so this will, I'll probably just upload it and then people can just watch it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Next episode of Auspex I'm going to do soon, maybe tonight, probably not tomorrow night, or not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night, or early next week. I will be catching up on episodes 7 and 8, and then they are on hiatus until January. So if I feel really motivated, I might go back and do episodes 2 through 5, which I had not managed to get caught up on. So I've done episode 1, I've done episode 6 now, and then I have 7 and 8 kind of planned out. So I will do that sometime soon. Okay. Talk to you later. I need a new outro for this.